the fools and the heat. You must let my people go, so we can roll from Cape to Cairo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the Anchor Man, coming to you as usual from the great state of Texas. The great state of Texas, precisely Houston, Texas. Always a privilege to come to you with updates on the Amazonian struggle for independence actualization. I am, of course, your Anchor Man, Chris Anu. Thanks for tuning in from ground zero, from ground one, from all of the diaspora in Europe, including the United Kingdom, and of course from the USA, the continental USA, with Canada included, South America, and all of you refugees out there on the way to America from ground zero through Mexico. They call it like that here. That's how it is actually pronounced, Mexico. But here in the USA, it is popularly known as Mexico, but it is Mexico. Okay, again, thank you for tuning in. It's my pleasure to come to you today with, again, I should not say a pleasure, but I should say again, I come to you with a very sad news coming from ground zero of the killing of our brothers, our fighters on the ground. Of course, we know who did it. It is La République du Cameroun that did it. But we, of course, know that this was another work of the black legs among us. Another work of the black legs among us, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I can tell you, but we are going to look into that tonight, and we have people who have some details of what actually happened between July the 28th to August 2nd, according to the records of La République du Cameroun military. The killings took place within July the 28th and August the 2nd. Again, we have people who will give us their take on what they know, what they have found out. You stay tuned for that. I will also be joined first by two members from the Restoration Council to update Amazonia on the upcoming elections. They're going to be giving us some details as to the itemized calendar of that election. So those are the two main items I bring to you today. As usual, please, I expect you to go ahead and hit your share button and let me know if you are joining by way of Roku. By way of Roku, we are encouraging every fan of ABS to please go ahead, download ABS on your television set at home. If you have Roku app in it, you can watch us 24/7, 7 days a week. If you have Roku in your, you have Roku on your television set. So please go ahead, do that, download it. It is very easy. Just turn on your television, get to the Roku app. On the left menu, you look for streaming media. Click on streaming media and then search for Africa Broadcasting Service, and the logo will pop up. The logo will pop up, and you should see. You should just download that. Once the logo pops up, you download it, and you can watch ABS again 24/7, even when we are not live here. You only see us here. For those of you in the diaspora, you only find us on Facebook when we are live. So when we are not live, ABS is still running 24/7. Please go ahead and hit your share button. Let us get at least 500 before I bring the honorable men and women of the Restoration Council to come to us with the announcement that they got here, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead, hit your share button before I bring you the broadcast proper. I know we've taken some time already, but we just have to do that. We're not going to talk to empty seats, right? So hit that share button if you are just joining. All your WhatsApp groups, all your Telegrams group. Do you know that Telegram and WhatsApp are owned by Facebook? Do that, owned by the same company. You can actually link both together. All the three of them together, you can link it. So hit it. Your Facebook groups also send the links to them too. Send the links to them too. In the meantime, let me see, give you a little few minutes to hit your share button and see what some of you are saying here on the platform. Please let the numbers jump. Let the numbers jump, please. Let the numbers jump as soon as possible. All right, I see Ige Godi. I see you, Christian Kumbo, always the first person to be here. Amber Pekin, you are right there. Asong Wisdom, thank you for joining. Aga Austin, watching from the Federal Republic of Germany. Thank you for joining. So hit your share button as you join. I like the way the numbers are jumping now. Please, if you are just joining, or if you join, you haven't hit your share button, do so quickly. At least 500 and I start coming to you. Why? It just jump again. Wonderful. You're doing a great job. I see Jean Mbako. Secretary Chris, do you trust ADF? I heard enemies saying you want Bet Federation. Who told them that you can decide for the Ambazonia people? Thank you, my friend. What is the name again? Jean Mbako. Thank you. I like intelligent and smart people. You make a very good point. No one individual in this struggle will decide for Ambazonia. Not at all. It will never happen. I will not accept that. And I will not do that. Of course, I have an opinion that I can share amongst groups, but we all have to agree. That is what it has to be. And thank you for reminding them about the cut and join they do out there. You see, they're trying to do everything out there from all angles to see that they can mess yours truly. They don't know it's an iron seated here, ladies and gentlemen. An iron seated here. Very, very resilient. No amount of cut and join video or audio is going to intimidate yours truly here. I think I have been here long enough. Very, I am the oldest member of government in this interim government. And I think in this struggle, one of the oldest in this struggle from 2016, and you can trace my roots in this struggle from 1989, ladies and gentlemen. If you talk about AAC1, AAC2, I was there. No, I wasn't at AAC2, I was at AAC1. I had left Cameroun, chased out by Paul Biya, seeking refuge in Nigeria. I lived there in Nigeria for 5 good years as a refugee, chased out by the regime. So please, I got a very good resume, and no amount of intimidation works here. I have grown beyond that. They can try as much as they want. It isn't going to work. Thank you. But again, you said the point. No one person decides for Ambazonia. That is why I came out and rebuked Chairman Ayaba when he went to London to allegedly sign for an oil deal. No, I said, no, that cannot happen. I don't mind if he signed that oil, if he was in agreement with his team, but nobody in his team knew about it. Anybody can sign any deal if it liberates Ambazonia. That is all that I want to say. Okay, so absolutely, you say, I heard enemies saying you want but federation. And ladies and gentlemen, all the broadcasts that I do, they are on Facebook, they are on YouTube. The good thing is you can always go back and look at what I have said. All those short clips, all those short clips of 50 seconds, 2 minutes that they do and put out there, wanting you to believe it is coming from me. When you see it, go back to the original broadcast and see the entirety of it, and don't buy their crap out there. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jean Mbako, for raising that point there. That's why I like reading some of these notes here. Bertrand Ayok Baby, thank you for joining. I see also Bernardo Ago Maz, greetings, Secretary. Amber, the anchorman, I think the dangerous blacklegs are the Bitcoiners. You will notice that since their master's dismissal, any fighter or fighting group who doesn't support them, they want them killed. You are right. I have seen the campaign. They even celebrated when Field Marshal was killed. Don't be worried. When they lose someone really close to them, they will know what it means to mourn a dear one. All right. Destiny New Country, watching from Dallas, my neighbor, 4 hours away. All right. Mercy Freedom, I see you. Nelson Chuo, I see you, sir. 1 in a million. Kudos, he says. Thank you. He said, Destiny says, please share as you join. Absolutely. Please hit your numbers, hit your share buttons. If you are just joining, I want to see the numbers jumping. I want to see the numbers jumping. We'll have a very important announcement to make from the Restoration Council, and I'm going to bring you details of what happened in Batibo, ladies and gentlemen. So we need the platform to be saturated. Hit that share button. In Congo, nowhere, able Secretary the Larry King of Amazonia. I am not Larry King. I didn't even like Larry King. He was too soft. I didn't like his journalism at all. Larry King was just all like this. What is this all about? What do you think about this? That was Larry King. I like B. O'Reilly. If you know B. O'Reilly, ladies and gentlemen, that was my guy. B. O'Reilly, who says it and tells you in your face, what it should be. But thank you for that. I know it's a compliment anyway. All right. So I see also, I see Maggie. Oh, I missed that. Maggie, somebody I missed that. Tata Konja, I see you. Teza, Sibel, watching from, I miss you. I think it's just rolling. Anna Bita, see you, ma'am. Renee Tazisong, what's up with Mark Barrett? Now, thank you for mentioning Mark. I know you wanted to write Mark Barrett. Now, let me remind all of you, that every time you see information, be it a post or a video or picture shared to you with the green logo BN, is it BN? Yes, BN, meaning referring to Mark Barretta. Please listen to me. Mark Barretta does no longer own that website. It was hijacked, and Facebook has been unwilling to pursue that case and return that site to Mark Barretta. Mark Barretta does not own it. You promote anything from there, know that you are promoting La République du Cameroun's blacklegs and enablers. So please take note that website BN does no longer belong to Mark Barretta. Mark Barretta is still one of the finest activists out there, pro-independent Amazonian. So please, if you're promoting that website, those sharings from that guy BN, it is not Mark Barretta. Take note. All right. Ping Ann, God bless you, Secretary Chris. You are really iron. When I see some of the concoction, I wonder. Thank you. You should be out educating all of them. All right. Mercy Freedom, I have seen you. Agbo Levino, Secretary Chris, you know the Facebook views has to drop because of Roku. Well, that is true. I have seen quite a number of people have downloaded Roku, but if we used to have like 2,000 or close to that at times, there is no reason we should not still have 1,000 on Facebook, right? So please hit that share button. Roku Doesn't have to affect this. I know people are watching on Roku. Ambatoka, I see you. Mendon Robinson, I see you too. I see Dan. What a great secretary for us. All right, thank you, sir. Congo Noe, I have reached you. I have read your name already. Agbo Livinus, I have read your name already. I see also Freedom. You are a great man and very committed to this struggle from the very beginning. Only idiots believe in that frame up against you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I never have to introduce myself to anybody. I think for the 6 years that I have been in the limelight, every one of you out there can predict what I am able to do, what I cannot do. I really think so. I don't need to sit here and make any defense. You guys are smarter than all those clowns out there cutting audio messages and videos and joining them, pretending it is Chris and Hussein died. Take note, please. Hit your share button. I need these numbers jumping. I know they are over 500, but that is not good enough. I believe in news. I read your name. Ami Ingnoko. Doctor, your name is power. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me see. Pastor Bo. Yannick Lois, you are just the best. Thank you, sir. Ndingam Samba. Say power to the people. Absolutely. Raymond Ayari, I see you. Eat Don Bride. Good evening, Ambazonia people. We thank God first to keep us strong before anything. Yes, sir. Samadi Abdu, I see you. Alam Breezy, more blessings to you, Secretary Chris. Thank you, sir. Nelson Chuo, those in ground zero, I believe you want to write ground zero, not go. Those in ground zero who doesn't have ABS should search their decoders and look for the Ghanaian channel Farin Water. That is where ABS is showing on go. On ground zero. Okay, that is very important. Thank you. Let me read that again. Those in ground zero who do not have ABS, please search your decoders. Oh, I lost that message. Just roll away. But I think you got it. Just all you need to do to get ABS on your set at home on ground zero is rescan your decoder and then flip through the channels and you will just you will just find ABS. Very easy. You don't need to install anything. All you need to do, especially if you receive Nanchop, if you receive all these other satellite channels, all you need to do is rescan your decoder and then flip through the channels and ABS will line up. Mumendaga, I see you, sir. Tata Conja, Anchorman, forget about Bitcoiners, they are all, I lost that too. Shirley Crown, Mr. Nanchop and other Amazonian IT services could find out what, again, that rolls away. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to continue to hit your share button. Unfortunately, I can't read every name there, but at least I tried. I got a little there. I like you, please, again, go ahead, continue to hit that share button. Now, I bring you this important notification here. Why not meet in Menji? Why not meet in Menji? I received this little note here today coming from, I see this note is signed by Paul Tassong, ladies and gentlemen. And for your information out there, I have promised you twice that I am bringing to you the exact names of those who killed Fee Masha. I don't joke with that. I have them from there, for a few days after it happened. I have the reason I have not brought them out. But listen, I promise you, look at me eyeball to eyeball. I will bring you the names, including their images, their footages, including even the cars they have bought with the blood money. I will bring you all of those names and those faces, and also not only those who carried out the act. I will bring you the names of those who paid the money, both on ground zero and in the diaspora. I promise you, I promise you, I am bringing you those names and their faces, whatever. Expect that in the days ahead. I'm not joking with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I received this information from ground zero saying the BLM elites, including the funds, members of parliament, I don't know how many they got, then regional councillors, municipal councillors, senior elite, ladies and gentlemen, senior elite. So, you know, you have elite and you have senior elite, and this is happening all over Ambazonia. Whoever stratified that society, I do not know. Then you have the chiefs and the notables, and then the right elite. So you have the senior elite and the elite, the chief, the members of parliament, the regional councillors, municipal councillors. Now take note, these are all driven out La République du Cameroun damn administrators. They say they are gathering in Boya. When is that? They shall converge in Boya on Saturday, August the 13th. That is the same day. That is the same day DC and the Maryland shall be standing still for field measure of Ambazonia. The so-called elites, the chiefs, and the senior elites and councillors of the BLM, they choose to meet on that same day. And where? In Boya. And this is sign. It says, shall converge in Boya on Saturday, August 13, to take stock, they say, of the socio-economic evolution of the division, and chart a way forward in the immediate short term. Chart a way forward in the immediate short term. I'd like to ask them, ladies and gentlemen, they killed Field Marshal. These same people, they killed Field Marshal, and I thought they should be setting foot on the BLM as they want, freely, isn't it? Why can't they converge in Minji? That is their political capital. Why are they converging in Boya? That is for Fako elite. I know, of course, Boya is our federal capital territory. But if they claim the BLM is free, why can't they converge in Minji? These are the same people telling people to return to Minji. The councillors, the senior elite and the normal elite, the members of parliament, they are the ones asking people to return home to Fontaine, but they will not as much as set the example by converging in Minji for a simple meeting. And they want every one of you there to go back. I have told you, you set foot in Fontaine, in Fontaine and Minji in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, it remains a war zone. It remains a war zone. You set foot there at your own risk. We have told you, some of your children are out there schooling in the urban areas where schools are going on. Do not risk their lives and your own lives. Go back to Fontaine and try anything and be killed. I will tell you that straight. Do not step there and do anything and be killed. I ask everybody from the BLM, they want you to go home, challenge the so-called senior elite, challenge the so-called councillors, challenge porters, challenge their parliamentarians, challenge their municipal councillors and so on. Let them go back home. let them go back home. They go back home, you follow them and go back home. As simple as that. As simple as that. So again, we are challenging Paul Tasson and the senior elite, as they put it. It's not my making. I didn't write it. They wrote it. Senior elites. And then there are the elite. I am challenging them. If the BLM is open, if field marshal is gone, please, please, go home and let the people who want them home see you and know that you killed him and you are back and you've taken back the town of Minji and life is on. I see you trying to bribe people to go put children in school there in Minji, promising to the first 200 students free tuition and free books. Please, I'm begging you, send your own children there to school. We are waiting for you. Let's see who controls Ambazonia. Whether you the damn elite so-called, or the ministers, or the parliamentarians, you guys have not seen anything. If you think Field Marshal was tenacious and ruthless, you haven't seen anything. Nothing has happened yet. By next week, we are announcing the new Field Marshal of the BLM. I remember, ladies and gentlemen, the late fond of Fontem called Fontem Defang. Fontem Defang, when he was old, when you summoned the people to address them, a lot of the time I was a little kid, you summon the people to address them often, he will say to them, I have been speaking to you people of Fontem and you don't listen to me. Before I go, I will leave you a little boy who will teach you something. That is what the fund used to say at the market square, addressing the people. And you know what? Field Marshal is gone. The Red Dragons are still so much there to your chagrin. I challenge you. Go to Minji with your meeting there and let's see who owns the land. All right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I see the numbers continue to rise. Please go ahead, hit your share button as you join. I will now come in with the members of the Restoration Council who have an important announcement to bring to Ambazonia today. You all recall that a few weeks ago, the Restoration Council announced the formation of the Ambazonia Electoral Commission. They picked a chairman of that commission, and they have since put out the election calendar. What I am told is that there have been quite a number of questions out there from the members of the public, and they have joined me today just to do some clarification, some explaining. If I have need to ask a question, I will do for clarification purposes. So I am joined, ladies and gentlemen, by the one and honorable Anne, the one and honorable Anne Inder, who happens to be the lady, the powerful lady in charge of the Governmental Affairs Committee at the Restoration Council of Ambazonia. Honorable Anne, thank you for joining me, ma'am. It's been a while.
Thank you, Secretary. Good evening to everyone. Once more, accept our heartfelt condolences. We know Field Marshal was for everybody, but I believe you have somewhere deep inside you that you feel that pain more than others. So I want to thank all those who are here to watch, and I'm hoping that you stay tuned because we have a lot to update you as far as the elections are concerned. Thank you.
All right. Let me introduce the other honorable gentleman who is also joining you from the Restoration Council. Uncle B, can you bend your camera slightly down? Down, please. Yes. Go. Okay. Thank you, Uncle B. Thank you for joining the set to bring us information from the Restoration Council, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Secretary Chris, and thanks to our viewers for being there. Our hearts go out with all of the BLM, especially the family of your family, for the heart knock that befell us with the king. It's, God always says, when one window closes, one opens. Let's hope that that is what is happening to us. It's a blessing. Rather that happen to open another window. Yeah, as my colleague already said, we are here to handle a few things that have been out there, questions that have been often been asked, why and where is this, why this. We're just here to clarify some of those the worries that we have out there as concerns the election modalities. I want to reiterate that election modalities, part of that election modality, part of the rules are going to be those of the commission that handles elections. But we're here to address those that have to do with what the registration council did. So in answering our question time and often, we will refer some of these questions to the Electoral Commission, because that might be at their discretion or at our own discretion. We're here to handle what was within our paycheck. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. I will start with the honorable lady of the House, who is again doubles as the chair of the Governmental Affairs Committee at the Restoration Council. You came out a few weeks ago, I think about a month ago, and announced these elections. And I should remind Ambazonians that this election thing did not just come up. You will recall that Samuel Ekomesako was supposed to stand election after his term was over. He refused to do so and chose to try to shut down the Restoration Council. Now, somebody was brought into place. Dr. Tita was brought into place to take over on a temporal basis until elections are conducted. He took it for one day and chicken out. And then Iya Marianta and Dr. Abongwa were brought in to lead a transition of 6 months. 6 months. And those 6 months are almost over. In the meantime, the Restoration Council was working on the modalities of a transition to a permanent leader. And that was done and announced again about a month ago, I believe. And the modalities for that election have now been put out, and the chair of the election commission appointed. First, I learned it was Reverend Father Jumbam. Reverend Father Jumbam resigned after a while, and now I also understand that Reverend Apostle Enchang Michael is now replacing Reverend Jumbam as the election commission chairperson. Now, Honorable Anne, you are here to explain the modalities of the elections. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. I am here first to read out the election calendar to those who have not been able to read it. And if you allow me, I'll just start by reading.
Please go on,
okay?
go on. You are reading election calendar. Go on, please.
So, election calendar of events goes like June 6, 2022 was the announcement of election day. This has passed and this was done. August 4th, that is tomorrow, is the deadline for declaration of candidacies and submission of relevant files or documents. August 4th to 11, 2022 will be review of all files, candidates, and presentation of candidates by the Election Commission of Amazonia, ECA. August 11 to September 5th, 2022 will be official campaigns. August 25th, 2022, first TV debate on AFTV platform. September 1st, 2022 will be the second TV debate on ABS, which is this platform. September 5th, 2022 at 12 midnight Amber time will be the last day of campaigns. September 6th, 2022 from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Amber time will be opening and closing the virtual polls via Zoom. The elections are organized and the results shall be proclaimed and published by the Independent Election Commission of Ambazonia, that is ECA, in a free, fair, and transparent manner, which I believe will be coming up as we go on with this presentation. And I want to remind Ambazonian secretaries that is signed by Reverend Dr. Chang Michael, who is the new chair of the Election Commission. You made a statement that the other chair resigned. That is true. He declined that position for personal reasons, and he wanted it to remain low and he wanted to remain on a low profile. So that is why we did not put it out officially to Ambazonians. And we've just gone ahead, and the election commission has gone ahead and re-elected another chair. So this is all done by the commission, not the Restoration Council. So we just have the calendar as well, but the election commission is the everything. It is an independent body. And I remind all Ambazonians that tomorrow is the deadline for presentation of candidacies. So if you are interested, or you know someone who is interested, or who is competent, tomorrow is the last date to submit his or her file. And we want to urge everyone out there, don't be intimidated. You have to come up and present your file. Even if you are a member of the interim government of Marianta's cabinet, even if you are a member of any other group, as long as you meet the conditions, these elections is open to every Ambazonia. As long as you meet the conditions, you are welcome to register. And remember, tomorrow is the last date. So this should be noted. Tomorrow is the last date, midnight, Amber time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me bring in Uncle B to add what he can add to the announcement you just made. Uncle B, please.
Yeah, thank you to the Chris. What I would like to add to what my colleague just said is that Ambassador must realize that we did extend the closing date for submission of application for presidency for 2 weeks for reasons that we had complaint from the ambassador people that it was necessary for us to do that, and for fairness and for to make sure that the ambassador people will listen and we take into account what they want us to do. We had to extend that period to it ends tomorrow. Anybody who doesn't send in will come here today just to make everybody know that tomorrow is the last day. So that if somebody doesn't send today, doesn't submit his papers for candidature, let him know that tomorrow is the last day and there will be no extension again. Thank you so much. I'm sure Secretary Chris is last, right?
Yeah, I think he's muted or he's lost.
Mhm. Okay, while he's lost, let me continue to say this to Ambazonian people. What I want to us to understand is that, brothers and sisters, we've often had little complaints out there. The problem is that when the council is deliberating on what to do for Ambazonian people, they don't often have somebody at heart or somebody in view that we are doing this for this person. It's for Ambazonia today and tomorrow. So when they are doing it, what they have in mind is the future of Ambazonia. You got to realize that some of us decided to break with our constituency just for the fact that we were looking at Ambazonia as a whole. and not as individuals. So much so that most of the complaints that we have out there are often addressed in the house. But what we need to know is that when we have those concerns come up, it's a sort of a group of people, just as my colleague already said, it's not for one person, it's not one person, as Chris said, it's not one person, it's a group of people. There's something they call delegation of power. So when you give power to somebody to do something, give him the power to do the thing and appreciate what that guys do. Because first of all, look at the election modality we're talking about here. When we were coming, we never saw anybody. We didn't know who was going to be running and who was not going to be running. So there will not mean no way somebody can say maybe it is biased to somebody or biased to somebody. It's a straightforward document that we want to make it a level playground for everybody to play without inches, without disturbances. So it would be wrong for some of us to think that maybe they're doing it, somebody is here and here, they want to do it for this. First of all, as of now, we don't know who is running and who is not running. So it will be difficult to order we are tilting it to A when we don't know A, or to B when we don't know B. So we always make it with a clean face, knowing that Ambazonians sent us to that house to work for Ambazonians and not for individuals. And that's all we do when we're in there.
So,
Thank you.
comrade, I would like to ask you, when you talk about concerns out there, can you tell us exactly what some of those concerns are? What are the concerns out there, please?
I think I already
Uncle
addressed
B.
the idea.
I
Okay,
think I
go
was a
ahead,
little
ma'am. Go ahead.
distracted. I'm sorry about that if I'm doubling
No,
that.
I wanted
And
to
go on.
ask if I should come in here. The first concern is that people want to know what the 2,000 registration fee will be used for.
Okay, correct. That's a
We
very
want,
good
we want
point.
people, yeah, we want Ambazonians to know that anybody vying for the post of the president is expected to raise funds that will fund the revolution. So you have to start by raising 2,000 to show that you are capable. This 2,000 registration must not come from your pocket. At least you should have followers who are supporting you, which shows that you already have a channel that you will start raising funds. You have to prove that you are capable, because we don't want a president that will come and sit here, not ground zero is bleeding, where refugees are dying, our foot soldiers are suffering in the hands of La Republic, and the person is sitting there and waiting for a salary every month like it happened in the past. So we want Ambazonians to have someone who is pushful, who is worthy, and who has to prove now by paying that 2,000. And this 2,000 still will be used
Is
to
2,000
kickstart the
refundable if
government.
the candidate doesn't win?
It's not refundable, but if you win, it will be to kickstart the government. So if you pay 2,000 and you are president, the 2,000 is already there at the national treasury. It is paid to the national treasury, not to the election commission or the restoration council. So it's in the national treasury, and that is to kickstart the new government. So I don't believe that there's anybody. If anybody pays 2,000 and runs as president and loses, he will feel bad. It only shows that he was capable, but the majority did not choose him, and it does not stop him from working with the president who has won. So the 2,000 will still make up for the funds that all of us are expected to donate every day. So I don't think that should be an issue if you win or lose.
Now, can you, both of you, make the difference between the role that the Restoration Council plays and that of the Election Commission in this election?
Uncle B, please,
Let
do
me
you
go
want to
ahead
take
with
that?
that. Secretary Chris, the modalities that are already out there is the role the Restoration Council played. They already finished their part. But that doesn't mean that we will not at one time work together as a team. Or one time work together, but that the election commission is completely independent. Our work ended with publishing the modalities. Implementing the modalities is the work of the commission. Running the election is the work of the commission. It is obvious that they will be coming out, or maybe in a few days ahead, to really spell out exactly the condition under which they are going to let the calendar we just did They may come to elaborate about it and they talk other instruments that have put in place, how the election is going to take place, how it's going to be proclaimed, and all of those things. I still have a lot to come and tell about people. But we are just here to explain actually what we did in drawing the modalities. Our contribution to modality have sometimes misinterpreted or like what Comrade Ann just did in terms of the $2,000. So our work ends as we did the Electoral Commission and with electoral modalities. The Electoral Commission takes it from there. They are completely independent, except they come to us for some clarification. We'll be ready to do it, but they are independent.
Who announces the results of the election, the Commission or the Restoration Council?
No, the commission is supposed to do that. The commission is supposed to do that. It may be in collaboration with the powers that be like the Restoration Council on the day they're announcing it. It's a partner that will see, by the read out of the election will have to be done by the chairman of the Electoral Commission.
And who votes the
Or
candidate, the Restoration Council or the Commission?
the commission does.
So the Commission takes care of everything.
That's what I'm saying, that we our own
And
work
then
ended
hands the
with
winner to the
modality.
Restoration Council, I guess.
Of course, yes.
All right.
Do you want me to add something?
Yes, please, go on.
Yeah, this should go into that this election commission is completely independent from the Restoration Council and cannot be influenced by anybody. So the elections are supposed to be free, fair, and transparent. So in such a way that nobody will come up to complain. The election commissioners are not going to vote. The voting will take place at the levels of the LGAs. The chairs of the LGAs will meet with their constituencies where this voting will take place, and then they will bring up the candidates chosen by the LGAs. The chairs of the LGAs will bring the final vote to present, and then the members of the Resolution Council will vote. And there is, to avoid duplicate, there is no resolution member is expected to vote at the level of the LGA. But we are expected to come and vote the member that our LGAs will vote. Which
So
means that
to make it plain and clear, the electorate consists of LGA representatives, country and regional coordinators or representatives, and then members of the Restoration Council. These are the three constituencies.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, again, deadline for the filing in is tomorrow, the 4th of August, which means after tomorrow, anyone who has not filed can no longer file.
Tomorrow midnight, that's at exactly 12:00 midnight Amber time, and the window closes.
Now, this thing was supposed to have ended. The window for registration was supposed to have ended sometime last week. Why did you extend it?
The election commission requested for an extension because they had a lot of concerns from the people on the ground that the 2 weeks was too short and people were not made aware on time. So they pleaded that they wanted an extension, and that was the voice of the people, so we had to yield.
All right. Dr. Uncle B, anything you want to add before we go?
Are we? What I want to say is just that we did address that when you were away, when you were locked out, and actually, we just see the concerns of the Ambazonian people. We are here to serve the Ambazonian people. We hear their concerns, we will take them into consideration. We don't impose. We hear that because they will work as such. As Comrade Ann were talking about the voting, we were looking at the people that at least the people sat and gave their mandate to them. We know that the regional coordinators are voted by their regions, the chairs are voted by their regions. The LGA chairs are voted by the LGAs. The LGAs to also vote the members of the Restoration Council. So they by that giving the authority to vote for them through these people. We did not bring in the county chairs because the county chair double the same as LGA chair. So that's why we eliminated the county chair, because before we become a county chair, you must first of all be an LGA chair. So if you are doing that, it's going to be something like a double vote. So we can put out the county
So the
chair.
county chairs are not voting, they are voting as LGA leaders.
Correct. Correct.
As they will
Exactly.
be voting twice.
Where?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
true.
they'll be voting twice. If we didn't take it that way, they'll be
Yeah.
voting twice. So we avoid that by saying that the counties will not. Only the urge is as the grassroots should.
All right. All right. Listen, the Honorable Lady and Uncle B, thank you for joining me to make these
I'm not done,
clarifications.
Secretary. Let me clarify one more thing here.
All right.
There was that concern. Maybe some people were saying that because we said in terms of the stipend that we can give to who is sitting there as president, somebody was expressing the concern that maybe that money was too much. But I want to make Ambassador know that that money was considered according to regions and where you live. That's regions. Take for instance, if you're on Grand Zero, because we say it's $0 to 3,000 as need be as demanded, because it's not a guaranteed money that you're going to be taking every month. And when you apply for it in writing, the Treasury, that is the Controller General and the um,
And the resource mobilization, I guess.
not resource mobilization,
Treasurer.
the treasurer that will decide to see they will say whether the money is available or not. It's not a guaranteed amount that is there for you to be taking every month. But the problem here is that some people were saying that that was too much. We were looking at it this way regionally. If you are in Europe, it's a different story. If you are in America and sometimes you New York, all those things, it's a different story. If you are in Nigeria or somewhere, it's a different story.
Right,
So you
because
want
standards of living are different
standards
everywhere
of living. That's it.
and
Yeah, that's
depending
what I
where the
mean by
candidate is.
correct. So that's why that amount was made from that level to level because depending where the candidate was.
All
Because
right.
you not expect somebody who is
Can
from New
I
York to give you 1,000. It may be a little bit difficult for them to meet the standard of living in America or New York. Go ahead, man.
can I add something after Uncle B, please?
Okay, briefly,
Yes, go
briefly,
ahead.
let's close this subject.
Yeah, we want Ambazonians to know that the vote will be done in a way that even if you bring in Sako Ikome as the chair of that election commission, there will be no way he will rig the elections. There will be no way these elections will be. Uh, so
Temporary.
all the commissioners, yeah, all the commissioners will be there. When if the chair of, for example, Menemo LGA comes up, he will vote. Every commissioner's line will receive a vote, the name of the candidate, and make screenshots in case of any litigation. Everything will be shown so that, and then this will be overseen just by the government affairs committee of the Restoration Council, just as a watchdog to be sure that nothing happens. But every LGA will know exactly which leader they are voting for. So there is no way these elections will be rigged. Everything will be done in a transparent manner, and we don't want anyone coming up here to claim to Ambazonians that he or she did not register because of anything. Ambazonians, if you hear anyone trying to come up tomorrow to give excuses, send the person under the bus and clean. We have crushed all the black legs. Then that person is a black leg. Treat that person as a black leg. Everything is going to be transparent. The electoral modalities were rated 95% by the vice president. That is more than an A plus. Every LGA, even my LGA, rated it above that no amount, meaning that everything is set for this revolution, for these elections to be the best that will ever take place. And just for the record, Secretary Chris, Sako, before becoming president, actually had an election. Your Amazonians have always omitted that point. The only fact is that when we announced the election, no candidates were presented. The cabinet presented him. We did not just proclaim him president. I was at the Restoration Council at that time. We decided that at the level of council, even though he is presented by the cabinet, we still have to vote, and he still has to win the election. If we vote and he lose, we are going to ask the cabinet to send another candidate, and that is how we voted. But he was the only candidate standing, so he actually stood for election and won. So that is it. I just want
Right,
you.
I remember that. I remember that. Where that is
Secretary
history
Chris.
as of the moment.
Secretary Chris.
All right, briefly,
One
Uncle
little
B,
point that
briefly.
the candidates have the right to appoint to send somebody to that commission on the day to vote to oversee what is going on, so that
Okay.
nobody should
To
say that, oh,
observe.
maybe somebody cheated. So anybody, a
Yeah,
candidate
to
has the
observe.
right to
Every
appoint
candidate
somebody to
has
go
a right to send an observer.
to observe, to make sure it is clean, transparent, and fair. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Lady Uncle B. Uncle B, I would like you to stay because if you have the time, let's discuss something coming from your neck of the wood on ground zero. So if you can stay, I will appreciate it. Honorable Anne, thank you for showing up to be part of the show, ma'am.
Thank you and goodbye, Ambazonians. Please send in your candidates and vote at the level of your LGAs. Your votes will count. Register, pay for your CID, make our home sooner than we expect. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those were our two lady and gentleman from the Restoration Council updating us on the modalities, the timeline for, modalities and the timeline for the coming elections. In the days ahead, I shall be coming to you to talk a little bit about that election, but that will be in the days ahead. For the moment, I'd like you to look at days. Look at days, please. Look at days. Take a look.
When at the 14th July 2022, when I meet General Bright, I send this message all over Ambazonian, the BLM people them, both home and abroad. I want to when I say, in my absence, no matter how I see come, and as I enter ground, all these people when I see I'm like this, I enter ground with them. So we will liberate from place to places. We will liberate Ambazonia from place to place. We will go all over Ambazonia. We will chase a kelebe. We will chase a kelebe. No be so. When you go my place, no be so. Confirm. Then at the 14th July 20.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the image that you find on the screen there, it is very likely that as of now, none of these gentlemen may still be alive. These are some of the ADF fighters. The gentleman wearing spectacles and making the speech amongst them happens to be a fighter from the BLM who recently joined them in the Batibo a few weeks ago, and they took this video that you watch on your screen. This video, again, they took this video on the 14th, July 14, in Batibo, and they were all planning to go down to the BLM as I learn, and as you hear from that audio. So, unfortunately, again, as of now that I come to you, it is very possible that none of these guys may still be alive. On July the 28th, French Cameroun soldiers invaded Batibo, and according to data coming from La République du Cameroun sources, the over 11 of ADF fighters were killed in an ambush carried out by La République du Cameroun forces in Batibo. I'd like to read to you the report that I tried to transcribe from the report that La République du Cameroun put outside. Let me bring you that information and tell you what is coming from La République du Cameroun's sources. Their intelligence report that was sent out, reporting what happened in Batibo. As you can see on your screen, the images from this attack in Batibo are so bad, I cannot keep them on my screen for long. and I cannot even bring them to you as much as we would have loved. They are so gory, and I cannot bring them to you. But let me bring to you the information that we have gathered from La République du Cameroun, their own statement from that attack. It says, as part of the pacification of its area of action, the bees, via a composite task force, BIRO plus CAT partners, carried out an offensive operation from July the 28th to August 1st. I mentioned August 2nd before, but from July the 28th through to August 1st, in the depths of the locality of Batibo in the triangle of Enyo and Ewai, the border area with the southwest, refuge and headquarters of terrorists of the ADF faction. Now again, this is the report coming from La République du Cameroun. Now, according to their fact sheet, they say 11 soldiers lightly injured by grenade, by 10 of the 11 by grenade shrapnel in the lower limbs, and 1 by war bullet in the arm and leg. Now, these 11 soldiers, I do not know who they are referring to as 11 soldiers, whether they are referring to our soldiers in the ADF or they are referring to their own soldiers. But it says 11 soldiers lightly injured. It also says, now, vital prognosis. It says 1 automatic rifle. No, let me move on a little bit. Now, according to their statistics, 15 terrorists neutralized. Now, they are referring to our Ambazonia forces. It says 15 terrorists, referring to these ADF fighters, were killed. It says 15, now I'm reading their words. These are not my words, ladies and gentlemen. It says 15 terrorists neutralized, at least. Those whose bodies have been found, they mean those they have actually counted, and they say they include 1 Colonel Donat, and then A2 mission commander Black Mirror, one of their commanders who joined them from the southern zone, Commander Flash, who joined, they said, from Bui, Bless, a chief guard who joined from Mbengwi, Talk and Do, who joined from Bafut, Rasta, Puyo, and then they say several wounded in the stampede, which indicates that there were quite a number of ADF fighters gathered at the location. Several wounded in stampede in the brush. I don't know whether they mean to say bush or brush. And in the ravine, I think they mean to say in the bush. In the ravines, including some leaders. Now, it says pseudo General Mombasa right arm of big number. I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know whether they mean to say the right arm man to big number or what. I don't know. And then another one, Cobra of Alabukam, injured in the hip. And then another General Capo de Mba, injured in the foot. Then they also list the number of material carted away from the attack. Now they say positive points. Positive points. Again, this is the report coming from the République du Cameroun's side. They say professional care and evacuation of wounded by helicopter. Continuation of the mission despite the injuries. Reliability of intelligence. I guess they are telling us, they are trying to explain to us how their mission was successful. how it became very successful. It says professional care and evacuation of wounded by helicopter. I don't know whether the wounded here refers to the ADF fighters or their own soldiers. I cannot tell from their report. Then it says continuation of the mission, or the mission continued despite the injuries. Again, I cannot tell whether the injuries here refer to their injuries or injuries sustained on the side of ADF fighters or AMBA fighters. And then it also talks about reliability of intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's note this. This is important because here is where blacklegism comes in. La République says they were able to carry out this mission in Batibo successfully because of the reliability of intelligence. And then he also talks about the planning was good. And then the presence of guides. Again, this will have to do with blacklegism. Blacklegism, the presence in Batibo of guides, which means those who led them to the location. And then good coordination, they say, was another factor. Say good coordination while driving. That is why driving to the location where these fighters were located. And then it says recklessness and professionalism of men. I don't get what they're trying to say there. Now they talk about the difficulties that they encountered. Number one, the presence of fog hindering visibility. In other words, they are trying to let us know that if the weather is not good, they cannot operate really good. And then number two, density of vegetation, slowing down progression. The vegetation, the forest, the bush, so the density, the thickness of the forest slowed down their progression or advance in to the location where these boys were. Now, the analysis, they say, notwithstanding the large number of injured, this operation remains a success. Again, I am suspecting that a large number of injured probably refer to their own soldiers injured during that operation. So notwithstanding the large number of injured, this operation remains a success in view of its more than evocative balance shield. More than its evocative balance shield. The considerable losses inflicted on the terrorists of this locality, they say, in the dynamics of the previous ones, will certainly break their momentum and that of their fellows. I need you to get that once more. He says, the considerable losses inflicted on the terrorists, they are referring to the ADF fighters, the AMBA fighters, the considerable losses inflicted upon them at this locality in the dynamics of the previous one. That means compared to previous damages, will certainly break their momentum, which means will certainly get the AMBA fighters maybe laying down their arms and walking away. That is, again, this is coming to you from the Colonial Military Report. It says the amount of the people, the fighters they kill, will lower the momentum on those left. And then lastly, it says maintaining the pressure will certainly reduce or even annihilate the I don't know what it means by up for activity. Up for activity, I don't know what that means, but I guess what I can conclude from there is that they are saying that that action that they carry out is going to bring down the level of AMBA fighters' activity. Probably, if not in that immediate vicinity, they are referring to the entire Ambazonia, of course. They have been expecting that in Libya Lab 2 with the killing of Field Marshal, that the activities of Ambazonia restoration fighters will go down. Their momentum will go down, if possible die down, according to La République du Cameroun's intelligence. That is left for tomorrow. We are going to see whether the momentum actually dies down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are again going to see if the momentum dies down. Now, I'd like to say this before I bring in my informants here this afternoon or this evening. This keeps on happening again and again and again in that little community LGA of Batibo. We have lost some of the best of our fighters in Batibo again and again and again and again. And every time it happened, the ADF was involved, directly involved. I mean directly, not even indirectly, but the ADF was directly involved. We remember the killings of our fighter, General Bia and so many others who were killed in that community. Now, today we are talking about 15. And the worst of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that these 15 happen to be some of the best in Amazonia. We are told they were coming from all over. Some were coming from Bui, some were coming from all the way from the southern zone, some came from all over the place, Some were there from the BLM. That young man speaking there in glasses, in spectacles, he was there from the BLM. I am not sure whether he is among those killed or arrested or injured. We do not know. But all of them that you see here, we do not know their fate yet. But again, it happened. And questions, ladies and gentlemen, are being asked. Why always the ADF? But there is something a little intriguing here. I like to be very honest with all of you. We have a held belief that the ADF has been fighting alongside La République du Cameroun military. So it is a kind of a little puzzling that French Cameroon soldiers will actually descend upon their own partners. I guess this is the case of dog eat dog. In this case, something must have gone wrong. Now, I am told that the same compound where these boys were picked up, ladies and gentlemen, the compound where they were picked up at, the picture you see on your screen is the location where these boys were killed. Now, I am told this is the very house in which Regina Mundi was hiding, was kept. Now, I do not understand. Something doesn't make sense here. I have talked to hundreds of our fighters on the ground. Very few of them live in permanent structures. They don't live in permanent structures. But the ADF lives in permanent structures like this one. Regina Mundi was picked up from this one. You would think that those fighters would have changed, made a change of location, being that this one was already known. No, they did not move. They did not leave. They just continue business at this location as usual. And nothing happened to them. So that La République du Cameroun will now descend on them, not just to pick them up, but kill 15 of them, pick so many of them, injure so many of them, living comfortably in that house. Something is wrong. We need to understand something. There is something in the midst of this that we are not understanding. If we are to go with the picture that indeed the ADF has been fighting alongside La République du Cameroun, if that holds, then something must have gone wrong here, which we are still to figure out. But I'd like to bring you something. I listened to an audio message that Seacott Judson put out. I thought it was quite interesting. The questions asked without answers were quite intriguing. And I'd like to bring you that audio. I'd like you to stay put, listen to the audio, ladies and gentlemen, from Seacott Judson. Listen to this audio.
The thing that passed me with all this evil rhetoric, abusing up and down, backing up and down by the ADF guidance. None of it should don't quiet, decide for get in restraint, because these people must provoke them from our sock. These boys for ground zero, they put their lives on the line. General Efang and all you boy them don't do the ultimate sacrifice for many fighters paying with their lives. All they be need them is just good leadership, good orientation and direction. But due to poor coordination and wrong things them where they instruct them for doing, this boy they meet up a Waterloo. Because inexperienced people like Kaput Daniel be put in place like whether they call them deputy defense chief and doubling again as spokesman and doubling again as activist. You don't know when for talk what and what not to say. Then now they come for defend themselves over a lockdown where they put them without the appropriate reasons. Because other stakeholders for the revolution said no. This the point they want to talk them. It no match, it no waka, it no cash water. We say no, we not be approved the kind of lockdown. Whether we get Operation Sunshine on a rainfall, explain to the other stakeholders well. Then keep your intelligence well. You not do them. Your intelligence leak for the Republic, they can't keep by them. Now you work at it, defend yourself by ranting, abusing everybody, abusing McBrata, scarf. Oh man! How you going to pursue a revolution by making every other person who not work off your back like sheep? You make them now enemies. You go pursue now how? You want to make lockdown? You crush all man. My brother them. Not be so that they do. First, you say you want to wake up the spirit of the revolution. The spirit of the revolution, where it die as you talk them, you know they wake up the spirit by making a lockdown. You woke up the spirit by making specific actions. Civilians don't collaborate with us for a long time. They've been disappointed with us because most of the boys, particularly the one for Batibo, where I come from, they're not fight. On all sides, AGF and Restoration Forces, they're not fight. If you want to make up the people, make them come back again, stop ransom, stop kidnap, stop all that in the way to make the people them immediately angry. Engage the community, engage in mobilizing them and apologizing to them. Stop fighting one another, and the people will get back the trust where they belong once given. You say you want to recruit people again. You want to recruit at this time during lockdown. You want to recruit people where you get forces for Basi, you get forces for Goza, you get forces for other areas. Opinion where they surround which side where you get them. You not support them, may they be strong. You not give them content. So that may they surround you and strengthen you. You inside here, you want to recruit people, keep on for whose side. All camps, we get many camps the way they get about 25 people, 40 people with 2 guns, 3 guns, 5 guns. If you want, we don't need recruitment. We need armament. We need to give them more materials. Not be continue to recruit, we don't get guns or give them. You get Operation Sunshine, you bring people all over. Then you can't keep the people for the same place where the Republic don't enter before. Lost sense. Eh? This one even means say there's so best way be deputy defense chief or the defense chief or even Ayaba supposed to resign. Because Ayaba don't show say he is very good in rhetoric. But in implementation he's zero. Because Regina Munzi run for your hand. Now you bring people you want attack, they die for your hand. You take people you want go last time for Bui for go carry material, they die for inside your hand. Alabukam die for your hand. All them are massacres. You stand up for crush people for your weakness. instead of resigning or instead of struggling to look where you lapse. Okay, make a point something there. Regina Mundi, when I see the house where they burn am, they burn that house na the headquarters of ATF. And when I already call am say na our headquarters. And when you call some place in our headquarters, it becomes a target of the enemy. It becomes a specific target. Now you get headquarters, you get F and your office. Now inside F and your office, for AY, that be the way la Republic Banana, where Regina Mundi be the read for day. He read that speech where we talk say, we not right of we may resign from parliament. After he read that speech, he did that building. Suddenly he be moved to Ashong. When he be moved to Ashong, La Republic attacked. When I can't go for Bush, La Republic came and attacked that same location. Then they free Munzi with other suspicious circumstances. And then they visit all the other camp them, including that office. Everything they don't run. All man be run. Now they come, that one pass. How on earth that same place where La Republic don't come visit them before? La Republic don't come for them. When I can reinstall when I self for them. When I can she don't back for them, she don't make comes for them. She don't they don't come the second time. They come meet up about 8 boys every day. Most of them are boys they come from outside. They kill them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how on earth did the boys stay in the same camp in which they had been attacked before when they came for Regina Mundi? How come they didn't move out of there? How come they were still there? Now, other things that Sikot brings up here, he talks about no fighting taking place in Batibo. No fighting has been taking place in Batibo, ladies and gentlemen, but this Batibo continues to be a burial ground for some of our best fighters. He says, stop ransom taking and kidnappings and stop killing our own boys. He says, Ayaba is supposed to resign. These are not my own words, but Sikot Johnson's own word. And I understand at a point in time, I think he has been a member of AGOVC. But I think that is a pragmatic approach to the issues, and these are the kind of people we need in this struggle to call things the way they should be called. Those boys who have died, those are somebody's children. Yesterday, it was Field Marshal. Today, it is these boys. We cannot continue to have our own die in this way, especially when we know the rule of blacklegs and enablers. You heard the report from La Republique du Cameroun talking about good guardians to the location where those boys were. Of course, I don't think it was anything new to them because they knew where they were. They have been there in the past. All right, I can't keep you any longer. I will bring in Erico and Uncle B to tell us what you know. I know Erico has been working on this story for quite a while since yesterday. Erico, please, it's great to have you, sir.
Thank you so much, Please, first, I want to greet my panelist, Uncle B. I will first of all start by greeting our ARF, 21 gun salute. The issue in Batibo, since the past of days, have been calling naked cause and calling our ARF in Batibo. I succeeded to speak with 3 of our ARF in Batibo because they are the main people who can give me the real information on what happened in Batibo, precisely in Inyu village and Iwa village. Yes, but their stories were not accurate. But finally, I got what I got. So the Ambassador people, they're gonna judge for themselves. One of the fighter, which is a general, our ARF, he said what he knew is that 11 of them was killed. 11 of our guys, the ADF guys, were killed in that mission. And then secondly, he said in that house, he said in the house, it was like they were preparing to do something, and the informant informed the military. The military came and surrounded the house and got some of them arrested and killed. And then he said, and then one of the fighters said, in the evening, some of the ADF guys, they took their AKs and they were shooting this in the air from Inyo coming towards Ambu, from Inyo coming towards Ambu, and they were making noise. Where them they fuck you, fuck you. And then later on, they ceased the fire. They went into their barracks. That's when the military came. And then he said the military men who came, they were not the one from Ambu. They came from Bamenda and they went back on Monday. It was like a special mission. They came and they went back on Monday. So then the second fighter who said he just told me he had gunshot from Inyo going towards Ambo, towards Iwa. And then later in the morning, he got a story that some of the ADF guys were being killed. So I asked, was it a confrontation between the ADF and the military? He said no. What he knew is that it was like those guys, they were still preparing something, but he didn't know what they were preparing. So the military appeared without them preparing they call it ginger or what. They were still like preparing something in the house. So, and I asked, this issue happened in Inyo and Iwa, because some of the fighters were killed in Inyo and some killed in Iwa. The house we are seeing there, you are muted.
Thank you. I'd like us to take this a little surgically. This happened on July the 28th. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, and the location was this same location where they kept Regina Mundi. Is that correct?
Yes.
What were they still doing at that location, knowing that La République du Cameroun had chased them out of there before? What have you found out?
Yes, Secretary Chris, somebody told me and sent me an audio and said what the Batibo people are trying to gather is that it was like what happened to late General Ivo. They wanted to do it with Eva. That's what they are trying to gather. Because last week Eva met in Busan and there was some confrontation with the military with I think Grandpa of Bali. So it was like they said Efan has been talking to the people that they are abusing that he's not more fighting, so he want to go himself. So it was like the ATF, they are not happy on the action the Efan want to take. It was like the ATF, they are not happy of the action Efan want to take. So I think that
Hold on there. The ADF was not happy with the action that AFAN wanted to take. Is that what
yes,
gathered those people together?
yes, that's what I
And what
that
was
is-
supposed to be this? What was supposed to be this mission that AFAN was supposed to take?
Yes, Efan and Grandpa of Bali. Efan met with Grandpa of Bali and they were complaining, and Efan said, people have been complaining, you are not fighting anymore, you are kidnapping this, so you want to prove yourself to the people that now I'm fighting with Grandpa of Bali. So last week they were in Busan and they were shooting between the Grandpa Efan with the military. Suddenly, or just 2 days ago, this incident happened. It was like they wanted to trap Evan. According to the story we are still trying to get, it was like they were trying to trap Evan like how they did with Ivo. So, but Evan escaped the trap. So we are still trying to gather the story of that side. But what happened in that incident was there was not confrontation between the military and the ADF. What happened is that when the military came and the boys realized that the military were there, the self-defense, what happened was self-defense. So that's what happened. It was not like a prepared confrontation between the ADF and the military. What happened was just a self-defense. They noticed the military were already around. So they don't have any option than to start shooting and self-defense. That's what happened.
Now, the ADF has said that this meeting in Batibo was meant to plan for an operation, quote unquote, that will take over some city. What do you know about that?
Yeah, Secretary, please, what are you know about the meeting of the ADF first? The ADF, I learned that they were trying to the planification of the lockdown. Secondly, they were planning to go to the DLM. That's the mission I gathered. They were rallying all the parties, they want to bring all the fighters together, and then you will see an audio or a video to enforce the lockdown. And then secondly, you will see them in Lebi Alem going to Lebi Alem to install ATM in Lebi Alem. That's what I gathered.
Thank you for mentioning that. Now you have only confirmed what I have heard from other sources. Now, if you look at this footage, this guy in the middle is called General Pride. He was the assistant to Ayeke. And if we let's play the audio in that footage, let people hear what they are saying. In this footage. Listen.
When at the 14th July 2022, when I made General Bright, I did send this message all over Ambazonian, the BLM people them, both home and abroad. I want to when I say, in my absence, no matter how the sea come, and as I enter ground, all this squad when I see I'm like this, I enter ground with them. So, we will liberate from place to places. We will liberate Ambazonia from place to place. We will go all over Ambazonia. We will chase a kelebe. We will chase a kelebe. Let me so. When you go my place, let me so. Confirm.
Okay, we will go my place not be so. They say not so, and my place there refers to the BLM, and we have been told we got this video about I think about 2 weeks ago, and it was made on the 14th according to the audio message. There it was made on the 14th. That is 2 days after the death of Field Marshal, and we also heard announcements coming from Chairman Ayaba himself talking about going over to the BLM. So you have confirmed, Erico, what I learned, that one of the agenda of this meeting in Batibo was to plan the takeover of the BLM. But let me go to Uncle B. Uncle B, some of the best of our fighters have died in this attack in the Batibo. But there is one phenomenon here. Every time the ADF gathers fighters in this number, they are killed. Boy, 39, or was it 32 or 39, they are still very much in our minds. And then we have this one. There are other ones at Labocam and so on. The ADF is gathering some of the best fighters on the ground, and they are essentially being killed by La République du Cameroun without a single battle. Without a single battle against La République du Cameroun. Where are we going? Where is the ADF going to attribute what had just happened in Batibo? Uncle Bill.
It's muted.
Go on, please. Uncle B, okay, go on. Your volume is very low. I don't know what is going on. We cannot. I cannot hear you, Uncle B. Enrico, can you hear him?
No, no.
Uncle B, I think you are muted or
Is it
what?
okay now? Yeah, well,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
okay now?
All right, we can hear you now. Go on.
Yes, I think I was muted. I was just saying that before coming onto this program, I listened to an audio from a certain, I think, Ashu. They were saying that a large man from Libya were talking that Field Marshal was killed, nothing happened, but they went to Batibo and the guy fought and fought and fought. I think we're talking about 3 days. And then finally, and you have the audacity to come to TV to start form the lie that you've been doing all along. In a nutshell, he was not wanting you to take the program to ABS to tell the people what happened. But look at this secretary. I mean, I don't know, for us to be talking about these things every day is, I mean, it is heartening. It is heartening. We've never had any other kind of what has happened here happen in Amazonia. And we say your relationship with our people and you guys is what determines you, that whether you're front line of defense. If they were planning to move to Libya as ADF, does that surprise you what that they be trying to get to Libya even when the king was still alive and did not succeed? I remember there was a time they staged a fire somewhere I was calling the king to come over for backup. Meanwhile, there was no fight taking place, but they asked him to come for a backup. But there was no fighting taking place. You know that if you call somebody to come back when you are not fighting, there should be a reason why you are calling that person to come for a backup when you are not fighting. And finally left and there was no backup. So what I'm trying to say here is I cannot imagine the dynamics way is that is happening between ATF and the military. Remember, before even when Commando went out, they said he drove them out of town. I think they were staying in a sort of a three-story building around the central town, and the military is still around there. Now, this is another house where we were saying, and you are lamenting, they were staying in a plain view of everybody, and nobody the military ordered they were just with no problem. But there's one thing that's peculiar here. The military is describing as a ref from that thing. I think I read that Afan was wounded on the right arm. How did they know all these guys that they left from here, this one from here, this one from here, this one from here, to name them? If they went there as a surprise, then the blacklegism was so advanced in whether they had to identify where these boys came from. What is not that you know who was wounded, who was not
Yeah,
wounded, everyone came from.
that is quite intriguing, Uncle B, that they can actually pinpoint where
Yes.
each of the fighters killed came from.
And with their names, the names and their level and everything spelled out, they came from here. How did they know that?
Right,
That these
right.
boys came from those places and only to be killed in that place. The problem is, if I can understand one thing, if these boys were saying that they're going to fight all over the country to liberate Amazonia, it may be as my colleague or my panelist Eric is saying, it was like they wanted to get something rid of it or something trying to do something that they didn't like, they want to get rid of him. I want to believe these boys are just simply being misguided. Because if they are saying that they are going to fight all over Amazonia to liberate the homeland, and if they are taking the doctrine of Ayeba has hardly fought. So how would it be said that they fought all the place or the whole place to liberate the homeland? It will mean that they are always being they are ready to fight, but something is holding them back, and they are being misled to wage the real fight that's supposed to wage defending Amazonia. And that's why most often they'll gather somewhere at the key as they just did. So I want to think that these boys are ready to fight, but the doctrine that is being given to them is guiding them and making them do what they've been doing. How will you explain on earth that you kill? I mean, Madame Moody was in that building
Yeah.
and is gone, and you still remain in that building
And they
for the
remain
rest
in
of the
that
time.
building.
You remain in the same building. Is that not funny? So there's something that is not going wrong, is not going right here. I can't be able to say what is not going right. There's, as you say, something is not adding up, and I think I can't lay hand on what is not adding up. But for the military to know all details, those who were wounded, those who were slightly wounded, their names, the one came from here is possible for me to know how they got into that information. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We
Basically,
are joined by Chairman Jackson. Chairman Jackson is from the same neck of the wood. Chairman Jackson, if you can centralize your image there, please. Wonderful, great. And that is great. Please tell us what you know. Thank you for joining the set. Tell us what you know. You are coming from the same county and you have been also trying to do some investigation. What have you learned led to these killings?
We guiding them and making them do what they've been doing.
Chairman Jackson?
All right, can I speak now?
Yes, sir. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, Secretary Chris, first of all, the events leading to this tragedy is very, very, very confusing. And starting with the justification for a lockdown, and a lockdown that was meant to punish people, a lockdown that was not justified. And everything after that lockdown is very, very confusing. As Comrade Eric
If I may stop you a little bit there, are you saying that that gathering had anything to do with the so-called lockdown they announced?
Well, there are conflicting reports that they were gathering there to put a squad to go to reinforce the lockdown. Remember, there was a
Okay,
serious pushback. There was a serious pushback,
correct.
and another school of thought is what Comrade Eric just said, Akaba. But the truth is that boys left from various destinations and were assembled in a location that was not a location that was not foreign to the to La Republic. So, and they have to come out because I listened to a couple of audios today from Capo Daniel, who was trying to said he was trying to declassify the mission. To me, it's a cover up because you're trying to declassify a mission that failed, which means that you don't even intend to pursue that mission in future. And he was trying. To me, it was justification for the heinous act that they've caused these young men. So being there and having boys come from all over and they get slaughtered like that, we might speculate here, but the truth is that the power that be made very terrible decisions to got these boys to where they are today.
Now, the same question I asked Uncle B. Some of the best of our fighters have died in that adventure, and it's going to take a long time to recover the caliber of those fighters. You heard, or you came a little bit late, you didn't hear what their commander said. You read that statement from them. They said this action will quell the momentum of those who are left from fighting. What do you think about that statement?
Well, it is a little bit controversial to say that they were the best because if they were the best, we haven't seen where where they have been fighting to be the best. But the truth is that it was the cream of fighters that were selected from all over, and and if the military is coming down with the assertion that they is going to kill the momentum, I don't know where they're coming from with that. But we understand that based on the materials that were recovered, I think these guys were heavily armed. But for the fact that they have all these heavy, sophisticated materials, but apparently we haven't heard so much about them, raise the question, like what some of your panelists said, what is going on? Because this is what we call a deja vu. This same as one of your panelists said, they selected a cream of their best in quotes
Yeah.
and sent to Bui, and we know what happened. And they have selected some of these guys and brought to Momo, and we'll see what has happened. And this is happening over and over. And again, you see big number, he continued to be the survivor in all these activities.
Now that is quite interesting because the man, big number, survives every one of these attacks, maybe he is a really big number indeed, isn't it? He
Uh,
survived every one of them, be it Kumbo or Bui. He survived. Be it this one, he survived. I think he survived some other ones too. Is it not just logical to say this guy could be an insider?
your guess is just as good as mine, and that is why everybody is scratching their head. From the so many people that we speak to, everybody is scratching their head and they're asking, why? Why is this happening? We are seeing this. This is the same story that keeps repeating itself. What's going on? And coming to the fighting spirit, this is somebody that has the audio you played from Sikot. I mean, he kind of analyzed almost every important thing that needed to be said. It's so critical. But I'm not going to go that far because he already said so much. But if you look at the reason why this guy should assemble in the same spot where other things have happened, and you ask yourself, what was the reason for doing that? And Secretary Chris, I know people want collaboration. We really want to come together, but under such circumstances, there is so much fear in the air with when you have developments like this.
Well, another question though that I will put to you, and I would like to put this to the rest of the panel: the problem of blacklegs and enablers. Let's assume that this was not an insider leak; it was a blacklegism target. What should the ADF be thinking now about those black legs?
Okay, there is a natural phenomenon that is you're not going to hear from me that ADF is so involved in kidnappings and torturing of the civilians. It is just a natural phenomenon that if I get maltreated, I have to look for a way to revenge. People get angry, and they should understand that their first line of defense is the civilians, and
Right.
we are aware of some of the atrocities that they have done in Mogamo. They even went as far as replacing the chief of a certain village over there. They took over the whole village, and from the story we hear, the people there they don't have any say. So when you breach your first line of defense, then you expect to have this black leg. I'm not in a way giving justification for black legs, but they are making it easy for people to do some of these things. But the issue of black leg is a very important issue in this quest for the liberation of Amazonia, and it's something that if the parties concerned come together, they can easily handle that. But when everybody is drifting towards different directions, then it gives the persons that want to betray the opportunity to do their dirty job, which is what they're doing good now. So it is incumbent for everybody to come together and think as one and execute as one. That is the best way to do it. At that time, the blacklist will be helpless.
All right, let me get back to Erico and ask you this very critical question, and I will send it to. I will get it make the rounds to the three of you. You know, we are in the habit of saying the SDF is fighting along. Sorry, the ADF is fighting alongside La République du Cameroun. But when La République du Cameroun comes around and kill this number of fighters belonging to the ADF, what should we say? Erico.
Okay. Thank you, Secretary Chris. Before answering that question, let me talk about this black leg stuff. Yes, I'm from Batibo, and I can guarantee you, Secretary Chris, we don't have a lot of black leg like the other LGAs in Amazonia. What happened? What's happening in Batibo is that these guys, FM, has been causing a lot of atrocities in that community. For example, the Inyo we are talking, the Inyo they had a camp in Inyo, but the phone of Inyo is not in Inyo because of FM. And then what do you think about the subjects? So and then you go to Iwa. In Iwa, if the person dies, if you want to bury, you give 1 million to EPA. Okay, recently, the second commander of EPA was being arrested in Yaoundé in millions with a
Wow.
passport in a hotel. Second commander from a
Okay.
guy from Egypt, the second commander of EPA was being arrested in Yaoundé
Okay.
with a passport, trying to escape. Somebody alert the police in Yaoundé. They went into the hotel and arrested the guy with 60 million. Where is that 60 million from? Because please, I can assure you and guarantee you that if the effort is being caught red-handed, the amount of money in his pocket, you'll be shocked. And where is that money coming from? From the people of Batibo. From the people of Batibo. So what do you expect? Every day is complaining here and there. Every day is complaining about F-Bank, 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 F-Bank. So to me, we don't have blacknets in Batibo, but F-Bank has made the community go against F-Bank. What about the ARF? They don't complain about our ARF. It's only F-Bank, F-Bank. So what do you expect? Okay, so again, let me come to the question. Uh, One of the fighters told me the new general they just sent, they think the accord Ibadan had with the other general or general Electoral Valerie and the other people. I think this new general has come with a new mission, and maybe Ibadan need to renew the mission because the military men who came right away from Bamenda, and they were military men in Ambo. So you imagine, Ambo is not far from Inu. And then somebody leaving Bamenda bypass Bali, enter Batibo town, then Ambu, and then to Inyo, which means there's maybe a secret or information security that maybe those military guys in Ambu or they are working with ADF, or they, yes. That's why they have to bypass all the other militaries and go right into the UR and EU to attack those guys. So those are some of the information we are gathering. But what we are just reading now, we want to tell everyone can still change because the rate at which they are going, I'm afraid. I'm afraid because ATF is not doing any good in this situation. They are not fighting anywhere. There is still there with a lot of sophisticated material. Where are they fighting? So to me, it's just that I will say La Republic has helped the Batibo people to reduce the rate of kidnapping and ransom taking. To me,
Uncle B, is the ADF fighting for La Republic or for Ambazonia? And if they are fighting for La Republic, why would La Republic kill this number of their fighters? I think.
Boy.
Go
You
on,
can't
go
hear
on, go
me?
on. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, when they went to Bui, remember when Chacha was the kid Chacha? You did show to us a picture of a guy that was a bit that was embedded within the alien. I can still remember, I think the name was with
Right,
something,
I
if I'm
remember
not
that.
mistaken.
I recall
Yes.
that.
But if you see the ADF going to battle mixed with Larbi to Cameroon, what did you deduce? What do you deduce from that? It's about obvious that a team, right? A team cannot play in a team that opposite team cannot play in a team that is your enemy. So
Yeah.
there's all reason to think that okay, when they went to Boy, when they gathered it boy from the Momo to Tanka, I went out there and then before that 39 situation happened. What was it? So I'm not here to say that the Secretary, the ACF is a mystery to this revolution. And all that they do point to the fact that they are partners with. Sometimes alliance can go bad. And when it goes bad, you see the repercussion. There was a guy, let me give you a story. There's a guy in Tanka who was the commander in Tanka, who are half people in Tanka. There was a commander in there who killed, remember the police that they, at the army that they killed, cut the head. Or they cut
Right.
the head, put on the tree somewhere. The problem was that the commander that was in that car left, went somewhere. And then when he left somewhere, the second in command led that attack and they had to cut that guy, kill that guy, cut his leg. So when they beat the man in command, there was a quarrel between them and La Republic and the military. Say, why did you guys do this? Then the man's complaint was that he was not around. It is second in command. That's the story from Tanka. It's the second in command that carried that action. It was not him because he was not around. So when you hear story coming back, and the day the king was killed, say there was real jubilation in that tanker. People did not know what happened. It's in the morning that the king died, but the ADF people in Kanta were in that place, tanker was celebrating overnight. Truly God are celebrating. So when we need one of us in the likes of the king, and then he dies, as some other people who were supposed to be fighting for us are celebrating. What do you conclude from there? They were enemies, right? And I gave you a situation where they were going to Libyalam and they're calling the king to come and give back, or when there actually no fight going on.
Yes.
So all of these things has made us to always believe, and without that example from the with this thing, that they are completely partnership. Somebody cannot be looking for you in that center town, Batibo. That's where you are living, and they can't come after you. And then they wait on you till your best comes from all over into that place. That's where they come after you. Something went bad somewhere that we cannot lay our hands. And that's what I'm saying, that when you have an alliance with somebody, see, it's a new man that's come. Maybe he was not bring and did not buy into a alliance that was between these two people. He decided to go on rampage, not respecting that maybe I like the understanding that was between them. Well, a new person always brings something new. So maybe it's the new thing that he has come to make his own rules and his own way to do it. Because there's no way you can justify to Amazonian people that who are fighting for liberate us and they're doing what they are doing.
Chairman Jackson, before we open the phone lines to take some a few calls, I would like you to attempt this same question. Again and again, we have said the ADF is fighting alongside La République du Cameroun. But when La République du Cameroun kills such a number of ADF fighters,
But there's no way you can
does that assertion still hold?
that who are fighting for liberate us and they're doing what they are doing.
Chairman Jackson, it seems he is frozen. All right.
No, how can you, there is an audio from somewhere.
Please, somebody should mute. There is some noise in somebody's background interfering with this. Go on, please. Chairman Jackson.
Yeah, can you take a question all over? I didn't get it because it
Yes,
was,
we have said again and again, and you have heard the other panelists say the same thing, that the ADF has all along been fighting alongside La République du Cameroun. But when La République du Cameroun kills such a huge number of ADF fighters, is it still logical to say they fight along La République du Cameroun?
Yes, Secretary Chris, to be honest to you, I would love to say that, but I'm not going to say it because everything we say here is circumstantial, but it is going towards that direction because when you see things like this happen, people begin to question why. Why is it that when anytime they want to carry a major operation, this always happens? And why, when they move people around and put in one location, these people get slaughtered? This is a serious concern that I want the ADF and the AGOVC to have that self-examination because this does not work good for their propaganda and for the revolution that they are trying to lead. Because if you have fighters that you bring together and this happens time and time again, then they've got some explaining to do. It's not just about sitting and talking about that same incident. You have to link what has happened up to this moment and explain to if you followers and Amazonians, why are these things happening? First of all, we have not had any good explanation for the lockdown that they called, because this remember, this is happening on the back of a lockdown that they called, that was not justified, that was not properly. Even if they gave an explanation to it, it did not hold water. What was happening? So it begs, it flies in the face of any logic that this is just a mere coincidence. No, it's way beyond coincidence, because it is happening too many times. So we people are going to make logical conclusions, but the reality is there. This doesn't smell good.
All right. Uncle B, it seems you are muted. You are muted.
Yeah, let me say something. Am I coming through now? I think so.
Yes.
I want the AGOV C people to AGF and the leadership of that. When we come lamenting here like this, it's not because we hate the AD or we hate them. It's just what they do that makes us lament. Because the audio we're telling you here, we're talking about from Ashu something, was saying that why are you taking it to TV? It looked like some of that ones have never been taken to TV. We've always done it to everybody. And when we lament, we are lamenting the lives of Ambazonia, not the lives of ADF. Those children, Ambazonia children. And we cry the fact that they are just being slaughtered and thrown away like this with no justification. So if we come here crying, it's not because we are crying because it is the ADF. We are crying the lives of Ambazonians that are being wasted, and yet they've never taken it to the enemy. To even these guys have maybe died without even should have gone alarming to Cameroon. If they had even killed 2, 3 for us, and it was a battle that we did. But then you are killing when that those guys are not even throw a gun behind Larbi to Cameroon. That's where our problem is. That's where our problem is. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I will open the phone lines and take a few calls from our listeners out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone line is open. Uncle B and Chairman Jackson, stay in there. Let me read this message from somebody in Ground Zero. Please, Secretary Chris, kindly make people to know that Ayaba and his ADF are playing a game of error. See, Ayaba wants to kill all our fighters to ruin our cause of independence. See, Ambazonians should stop. Is it blaming him and his Efang, Ayaba, Efang, and ADF are not for Ambazonia? That is somebody writing from Ground Zero. Okay, let's get the first caller in here. I guess this is from the state of Maryland. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. This is Dr. Tianjo.
Okay, sir.
You have an interesting panel today and an interesting topic. I really greet all of them. I just wanted to add something to this thing, this kind of situation that we are trying to break and to understand. You know, a lot of military personnel that are posted to the northern and southern zones. Most of them are from the La Republique, and this war has enriched poor generals, poor colonels who had left service, but because of the fact that they needed them to come and work to kill our people, they have come to Noso, and they have come to Ambazonia. They have enriched themselves. You know, the new general who was brought in, General Buba, has no alliance established already with the ADF. So that is the reason why you see him. He has gone on rampage because the cartel has been dissolved by the different changes that have been initiated within La Republique military. So you can see that they are still trying to recuperate and then come back as one to see how they can continue to be making money out of this revolution or out of this war that was declared on us.
So your take,
I believe that is one of the reasons.
So your take,
that is the reason why.
So yes. your take is that the ADF had an alliance with the former La Republique generals who were running the northern zone?
Yes, that is true
And now
because
that there is a new general, that friendship is over.
the friendship is over or is still under negotiation. But once a group of a cartel has been dissolved, it takes some time for them to rebuild or regroup and come back to function. So General Buba is doing whatever he's doing now in order to actually send a message to them, because he is not yet corrupt by those people who are there to make money from this revolution.
All right, thank you. That is your point. In fact, I will I will put the question this way. If you are calling, make sure you are calling to answer this question. Do you still think the ADF is for the struggle or fighting for La République du Cameroun? Do you think the ADF fights for Ambazonia, or they fight alongside La République du Cameroun? And if they are fighting alongside La République du Cameroun, why will La République du Cameroun kill theirs? I'd like you to answer that. Okay, let's get to the next caller here, ground zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Can you shut down the volume in your background?
Yes, it is okay.
Yes, go on, please. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Konsamba.
All right.
Your brother in Konsamba. One day, one time, I will tell you, Cristiano, ADF no day for the struggle. I will go on last month, I go EY, as go see the harbor where he found the drum, we boys them. They don't even make us some bro away with the Achu Pascal away with the EY village. They can't shoot gun on top of skin. They come for a store, small store where as how we go teacher training school. They can't shoot on for this smoke. Then they take it things they not even buy. They don't go teacher training school now 7 years this way. They don't come out for teacher training.
So according to you, you mean say now the local people them betray ADF for that camp or what?
Now ADF they do nothing where they do. Even I be sending audio when I be there for the village, the time where they can't take Madam Mundi. I be sending you a video.
Okay.
I be go for that because that chief is picking for AY be die. I go there. I send you video for that time where they can't take Madam Mundi for there. I send you a audio. But tell the way they pass before they can't take. They be give a huge sum of money, 100 million for Ifam. Then they take the woman.
Who be Giam?
Now the government, the Cameroon government, be give the money.
How you be know?
So as I was there now. I be get some brother where if they collaborate with Ifam.
Okay.
And they don't as how the internet, they don't even burn the house now. So burn or even in motor where we get them, they don't burn at all. So all those things now they play that film, take Madam Mundi, go keep them for action. As the army they can't say they don't kill, they don't do this. It was a game. When if I'm already receive the money, they just take Madam Mundi now, go keep it for there. Even if driver be still the EY. I don't say this time around where army enter for them now, but go take that driver. Because
all right.
That driver be still there. They will need 150 million again before they release that driver. Now the thing happens so where you see ADF now very if do the worst thing. It take people, it beat people, the family people, village people, they beat her, put her inside the prison. Say he get prison. So they someone they pay 400,000, 300,000. Even my uncle, so they take you whip it, so it no feel for work again. All those things are for make us say me people get behind mind for not collaborate with it.
All right, thank you. We hear your line of thought. Let's take other callers.
Secretary Chris, Secretary Chris.
Yes.
Secretary Chris.
Yes.
Let
sir.
me add something to what this guy just said. On coming onto this program, I saw I think the driver has been killed. Well, I saw something that was said to me. The Monday driver that somehow tells they just say cried that day for big compound. So somebody forwarded to me said that it was unfortunate when they killed this boy they discovered the body of Madam Mundi's driver that was still with these guys. So he is killed among these guys. As per that order that was sent to me, they can send that criteria for big compound. And then Madam Mundi was standing right there with the generals, looking at the body down there that the driver has been killed. She was crying with that dark eyeglass, crying the
Well,
driver.
yeah.
So it is true that the driver was still down there, and at this rate, unfortunately, the driver too is killed. Thank you.
All right, Uncle B, let's get back to our callers here. Hello.
Yes, good evening, Uncle Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abakwa.
Abakwa. Okay, what is your contribution?
My contribution is that with the issue of ADF, we have been seeing ADF, most of their work in towns, you can only hear they have picked somebody somewhere. So it seems as if the ADF group, they were working with the former general. They have maybe a negotiation. Since this man has come and they have not have any agreement, and they have called for lockdown, which shows they are working independently from La Republic. Then this man has solely come out with this attack to show them that they have to make an agreement before they can work together. So that killing in Batibo is not naturally.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's get to the next caller here. Hello. Well, if you call, you must make sure that the volume of your set is turned down, please. You must make sure the volume of your set is turned down. So I guess what everybody is saying here is that they still believe, in spite of the fact that La République du Cameroun will bring down 15 ADF fighters. The majority of you still out there still believe the ADF fights with La République du Cameroun. Let's get to this next caller here. Hello.
Hello?
Can you turn down the volume of your set, please?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Yeah, before I start, I want to say that ADF work for they collaborate with the government. They are not fighting absolutely for the revolution.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Victoria.
Victoria, okay, thank you. Go on.
Yeah, but I have a point of remark, which might also serve like a correction.
Okay.
We killed their own general. We have been killing their own important personality.
When you say we killing their own general, who are the we?
We the ambas.
Okay.
We the Amazonians.
Right.
We have been dealing with them. We have been killing some good numbers of them.
Right.
They did not display the curve in the TV. They did not announce. They instead do the propaganda. So please, we must learn to do like that. We don't need to be displaying our own.
Well, you know why? I get your point. Hold on there. I get your point. Do you know why they don't display their own? Because they don't want the families to know. We display our own because our people need to get the anger and continue to prosecute this war. No, we cannot keep it.
Don't you think that we can also kill the spirit of the people that may want to keep on persecuting the war?
You are correct. You are correct. Yes, some people spirits may be dampened, but I think in general, for example, I lost Field Marshal the other day. You think I see that corpse every day and something tells me just give up, just surrender? No, instead I am fired up.
I remember proverb that during war they don't count cough at war. So when we keep counting, saying all the time, they are jubilating.
No, listen, there is a difference between showing the people what is going on and counting what is going on.
So we need to make our own propaganda. We don't have to be showing the cop, making as if we are regretting because we are killing the spirit of the young guys.
No, sir. I think you are absolutely wrong there. People need to see what is happening if they have to continue to prosecute this war. Thank you for the call. Let me get to the other caller. Hello. 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 Yes, sir. Turn down the volume of your TV, sir. Turn down the volume of your TV in the background.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Batibo.
Oh, from Batibo. Interesting. All right. What is in your mind?
Yes, I want to give my own suspect in two phases.
Okay.
First, yes, it may be a Fulani man employed a leader, a Ganako, how we call it, a Ganako, to his cattle, a wrong Ganako, who is a thief, or the master, the Fulani man is also a thief. What am I referring to? And maybe Efang is gathering most of the fighters and selling it to the La Republic agents without the ADF knowing. So my suggestion is to Ayabatu, let him change Efang.
You mean, because Efang is always surviving these attacks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe that is a wrong shepherd to a master. A shepherd who will overtake the cattle and sell without the knowledge of the master.
Uh-huh. All right, thank you. Thank you for the call, sir. Thank you for the call. Let's move on to the next caller. All right. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. This might be Abakwa. You are always, your calls always pass through every time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Because of my passion for the cause.
All right. Go on, sir. Calling from Abakwa. Go on.
Yes. Greeting to the panel, to the panelists, those brave, outstanding guys. Well, what I want to say is that there's no gainsay that the ADF has been a proxy of the government, of the regime. There's no gainsay about that. But you see, I'm convinced that this alliance between the ADF and the regime is much more at the level of the leadership. That's Ayabacho, Kapodane, and so on. I'm very sure that they have ordinary fighters, foot soldiers who are not aware of what is happening. I really pity any Amazonian that is identifying himself with the ADF. I've personally tried to convince some of them to quit the ADF and join the restoration fighters, but most of the time it ended up in the quarrel. So, but whatever the case, what I want to say is that whatever the case, Secretary Chris, woe betide those francophones who come here and kill this boy, because in the end, these are Amazonians. And I really pity these Amazonian girls who are about indifferent. They don't know what is happening here. We have lost thousands and thousands of men, young men, who would have been their husbands tomorrow. But instead of contributing one way or the other to bring this thing to an end, they go about indifferent. Some of them even sleeping with the soldiers. So whatever the case, these are Amazonian boys, these are Amazonians. We have not done anything wrong with francophones. They have no reason to come here and kill and do what they are doing. So I insist, this battle is just starting. It's just starting, sir. Whether they are ADF or not. And finally, Amazonians, please give consideration to this man called Chris Ano. He just lost the brother. Most people would have cracked in his position, but see how he's going strongly, stronger than ever. Please, for the sake of this man, support this revolution. Support this revolution with as much as what you have for the sake of Chris Ano.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get to the next caller here. Hello. This will be the last call. Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
This is Japan.
Calling from Japan. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
What is the time? What is the time there now, sir?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. on Thursday. Wow, that's interesting. All right, quickly, sir, 1 minute.
Yes, Secretary Chris, just to add to what Dr. Atienjo said, it takes a grace, it takes a wise one to understand Ayaba's game. Ayaba is playing a fast one. Ayaba has been playing a fast one. It takes a grace for someone to understand Ayaba's game. They say when you, even a lazy man wakes up in the morning, takes his machete, go to the farm to clear. Even if that man, no matter how much he's lazy he is, when you follow him within his 30-40 minutes, 1 hour, you will feel that you will think that he's a hard-working person because his magic is still very sharp, and obviously he will be trying to do well within the first 30 minutes. Okay, what am I saying? Buba has just been sent to another zone. Buba, the game that Ayaba has been playing with the other generals or the commanders, Buba is neutral. Buba went to Batibo. What I know that must have happened, someone must have just guided Buba, but that collaboration between Ayaba and the former generals, Buba has not yet gotten it. That is the truth. Buba just did his job.
Okay.
Whatever happened, I may not know, but that is just what happened. Buba is still fresh, trying to send a message to Yaoundé that he is in charge.
They say Buba. They say
yes.
Buba never chop soya. That's what you mean, right?
Yes. Buba's lips are still dry. He has not been oiled. The lips are still to be oiled. Maybe in the days ahead. But for now, Buba's lips are still dry. Buba is trying to send a message to Yaoundé that, hey, Papa no send me for nothing. I want to you say he no make a mistake for send me for here. That's the truth.
All right, thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. So you have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I take this last caller and I call it a day here. Hello. Can you turn down the background volume, please?
Yes.
A lot of noise in your background. All right, go on.
Yeah, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir.
To all the panel and to all the panel seated there with you.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Cyprus.
Cyprus, okay.
Yeah. Yes, from what you are explaining and the issue on the ground, it shows that Ayaba is not clean. Ayaba has delayed this revolution all through. And this is how the game is. The game is between Ayaba, Atanganji, and the general on the ground. And Efang is just the controller of the guys on the ground, so that the guys, our boys on the ground, should be killed. And that is how the game is. And Ayaba has been making money throughout this revolution. It's just the guys on the ground, they don't even know they are out to fight for Ambazonia, but Ayaba is there to eliminate them. Also, if all the boys on the ground can't realize that Ayaba is not for this revolution, and they sit up, they will fight and free Ambazonia, and they themselves will be free. And if all of them, they think Ayaba, whenever he comes on TV and blew his grammar, Capo Daniel and the rest, for this revolution, they are all making a mistake. Ayaba used to have support of Takbang Ivo. He used to have support of Mark Barata. All of them, they have realized that Ayaba is a snake, is a killer. And all of them, they have dropped. And that is why whatever is happening, none of them is opening their mouth. They know that what is happening, Ayaba's hand is there. They know. But none of them is opening their mouth to even criticize Ayaba, because Ayaba may go after them. So that game which Ayaba is playing, all Ambazonians they know. But it's high time for us, the Ambazonians, to start criticizing Ayaba. That is from now hence. Yes.
I think they have been doing that, isn't it?
They have been doing, but the people that are supposed to do it for Ayaba to know that this thing is now people like Mark Barata. Because if Mark Barata happens to come up, look at the way Sikor was talking. If Mark Barata comes up, Takman comes up like when Takman came up when Regina Monji was the plot with Regina Monji. That is when people are talking like that, we should not be seeing the truth and try to hide it.
All
Ayaba
right.
is a snake.
All right, comrade, thank you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you. I wish we could take more calls, but you have a great night, sir. A great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long day. Unfortunately, the calls are still coming in, but I can't
Secretary
take it.
Chris.
The day is fast
Secretary
spent.
Chris.
50 seconds each, Uncle B and Chairman Jackson, please. I can see the result of this poll is that Chairman Ayava is still very much in bed with La Republic to Cameroon. 50 seconds each of you.
Am I start? Yes.
Yeah, Chairman Jackson, go on.
Yes. Honestly, as I said, we can sit here and second guess, but the reality on the ground speaks for itself. Yeah, I was just listening to an audio forwarded by Kemita Ashu, by one of the guys on Ground Zero, accusing Ayaba. So you see, what people are saying here, just as you said, completely display the mindset of everybody. And I even came across a write-up, somebody saying that the killing of these guys sometimes is to clean up that generation because they probably know what is happening then, and then they recruit another set of guys to come up. So as we said, all these things we can only speculate, but the truth is that this thing is happening too often with the same people. So what is going on? And before I leave, I listened to Kapos Daniel's podcast. He literally expose the places where these guys came from. You cannot be fighting a revolutionary war and you go on air, you tell where these guys were being recruited for. You are in effect giving their location to the enemy.
I think that is why
you only,
Sikot Johnson is so mad and calling for Borayaba and the Capodania to be put away from the area of sea, I guess.
yes, Secretary Chris, I just feel sorry for these boys that are sacrificing their lives for either it is gross incompetence or it is sheer wickedness or they know what they're doing. But either one, it doesn't look good. It's terrible. You can't do that. Nobody in their normal senses will go on air to reveal location for their fighters. What do you want to achieve? Their death, of course, and it's happening. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Uncle B, please make the last point there.
I think Comrade Jackson makes a good point there. The person that said, I think I want to buy that premise because they want to clear away the old guard and bring a new guard. Maybe they're already big and maybe asking questions.
But why would they be
Why
clearing the
not clear
old
it
gang
away?
to bring who is a new gang? Who else do they have? That was their best.
They are going to, they're going to bring that. They were not the only people fighting. Where those guys came from, they were fighters from where they came from. And by really revealing where they came from, it automatically sending the military to where they came from. So it does say that these boys are here. This is where this one came from, as Jackson is saying here. So what I'm saying is, sometimes when you use something and it becomes useless, you get rid of it and then bring a new one. That may be the story. I just got a message coming across to me that presently the military in Ziguzan right now as we speak.
The military is where?
In Guzan right now.
In Guzan?
In Guzan.
Okay.
Yes, as we speak, the military in Guzan right now. We don't know the mission, what it's going to for or for what, we don't know. But in a nutshell, I don't want to say the
what is he doing there?
Yeah, they just got there as I'm getting the message being forwarded to me. They just got there. They don't yet know what they're going to be doing, but they are in Guzan right now. They are not yet carrying out any operation. Yeah, they are not yet carrying out any operation right now. But what I want to see from the sampling we've just done here is conclusively that Ayeba is still in bed with these guys of Larabee to Cameroon, and there's something went wrong somewhere. Either the contract, the new man came and changed the contract, or do not want to buy into the contract, and they want to show proof to you send me, I want to work. Maybe with time, it's even arrange another contract, but for now, that guy is still saying that I can work. At least you go somewhere, must show something that I'm here to work. You might slow down, but show the first impression to your master that I'm able to work. So I'm sure this is what happened here.
Well, we are just procrastinating. I mean, throwing conjectures here. We really don't know exactly what happened, but we're going to leave it there. We believe that details will be coming out in the days ahead, and if need be, we will come back to it. Whether be it 11 or 15 people isn't a small number of people to just ignore that way. Uncle B and Chairman Jackson, it was great having you, sir. You have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end it right there. But before I go, I just got this news coming in from the BLM. I've just gotten this news coming in from the BLM of the installation of a new colonial divisional officer in Menji. That was done. I think that was done today. I just got the news as this show was going on, and this was done today. I'd like you to take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, the images you saw there are coming from the BLM precisely in Menji, where they were installing their new colonial divisional officer. I think that happened today or yesterday. Those images came to me while the show was going on, and I don't have details. All I know is that that was the installation ceremony of the new colonial official in the BLM. Let's wait and see for how long he lives there, if he actually will live there. I have advised him a few days ago, if he can take it from his predecessors and move his office to Chang and stay there, because it is not going to be business as usual for him. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will end it here today. I look forward to being here on the Friday. I look forward to being here on Friday. And remember, for all of you living in the Washington, D.C. area, the northeast of the USA and all over America, we are celebrating Field Marshal the King on August the 13th in the D.C. Maryland Metro. Now, this is being organized by the family and not by the interim government. This is very important so that nobody thinks that the interim government is picking and choosing who to celebrate. This is being organized by the family and place. Again, the date is August the 13th. If you want to book your flight, you are welcome to do so. There will be no date change. The venue will be brought to you in the days ahead. I'd like to thank you for staying put and watching. You have a wonderful night. God bless.
We shall